Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to see about loops. There are three kinds of loops. One is for, another is while, and another is do while. These three loops exist in many of the programs, especially in C. But if you go to Python, you could only see for and while, but no do while. So let's start with them. Today we are going to see looping statements. Coming to that, as we know already, we are going to include the standard input output library, the console input output library, and create the void function. Sorry, not void, it's the main function. Now, let me initialize a variable a. Then I am going to create a for loop for, and if you want to know about the basic structure of for, you would be having a initializer, then the condition in which it should run, then the increment or decrement. What is increment and what is decrement? Increment is something which we give a value to go up, and decrement is a value which we give to go down. So I am going to initialize a variable int I, which would be having the value 0. Then I am giving, it should be less than or equal to 10. Then I am giving I++. I++ means nothing but it would take the I variable and it would add one value, which means if I is having 0, it would be adding 1 and gives the output as 1. And if I is having 2, it would add +1 and give the output as 2. Now here I am going to assign A equal to I into A. Okay. After that, we are going to print the statement printf double quotes the value in the loop number this, and again I am going to print the output of it. So from here, as you know, I need to give the value of I first, then I am going to give the value of A. Okay, so before that we could see that we haven't initialized with any variable. I am giving 1 for now. Now after the end, I needed to print the loop end. Okay, so let's save this to the same location. This is this is day 5. Okay, and we are going to command prompt. We are giving day so that we could see that day 5 is being created. Oh, sorry, I have created this. Let's execute it. Let me give save as and make it as. Okay, now let's give GCD, give the day 5, and the output would be class _1 _ day 5.exe. Some issue inside. Okay. Yeah, we need to add SCH or else the program would start and end in a second. Okay, let's compile it again. Just a minute, I think this here I need to use a small letter O. If we are using capital O, we would take it as a directory. Yeah. We got the program created. We done it. Okay. The loop has gone successfully. Let me add a slash n to make it more readable. Then here, since we are giving 0 as value, okay, I have compiled it. Let's run over here. Okay, we could see that we are getting 0 in every loop, but the I gets iterated. It's because since a into 1 into 0 is 0. After that, since we are reiterating it to multiply with a, all the values are becoming 0. Instead of this, let me give 1 as the value. Okay. Okay. Let me close this program. Program is closed. Fine. Let's rerun it. File has been created. Now you could see that it has been multiplied as such. What it is, what our code is doing is 1 into 1 is 1, and after that we are giving 2. So 2 into 1 is 2. So after that 2 is multiplied to 3. We are getting 6, and 6 is multiplied to 4. So we are getting 24. 24 is multiplied to 5, 120. So the sequence is going like this. So for now you understood that we are using a for loop when we are having some definite condition where it would end. But think of an indefinite condition where you might not know, like when this would end or in which part you might only know that in a particular condition it would end and you don't know how much loop would be running. At that time we would be using a while. I am giving a while loop under this. Let me print this statement. For end, just for our reading purpose to understand whether it is ended or not. Right now I am creating a while loop. Okay, so in the while loop I am giving if a condition, like while a is greater than 120. Okay, printf the value is okay. I'm printing the value of a. Okay, after printing, what I want it to do is divide the value by 120. So I'm giving a equal to a divided by 120. Whatever value was produced at the last a, it will be dividing so that it should come less than 120 for me. I'm closing the loop statement. Okay, be careful whenever you are opening a loop. Be sure to close it, or else the program would be giving you error. Let's close this program also. I'm opening it here, compiling it again. So let me run that program over here itself. It's day 5. Okay, just a minute. I hope it's compiled right. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, I forgot to save it here. I am recompiling it. Let's run it. The for loop ended. Okay, now you could see that when the value is coming less than 2, it is coming to 250, but we don't know why it is not printing it, because we are given a condition that if it is greater than 120 only it would print this. Now what we can do for a quick check is, let us ask the system to print the value of a is percentage d, comma, and we are giving the value of a. Okay, so let me save this once, and to make it see prettier, let me have new lines. Okay, let's compile it, execute. Yeah, you could see that in the loop when you are getting the values, just giving 252 as the last number, but you could see since the value of a came to 120, it came down and it is not printing the loop. So the while loop function would be used wherever you are specific on a condition but you don't know when the loop would end. But you could use a for loop whenever you know a specific time it should run, or whenever a particular it should start with a particular condition, go in an increment or decrement, or any condition it should go, and whenever a particular condition is met, it would stop working. So hope you guys like the video. Please comment and share to all your friends. Thank you.